I apologize for not communicating it properly, but the more and more people I talk to and I explain to them the purpose of the plane, it was not my private plane that you wanted, and I get it. I understand it gets more clicks, but it's just wasn't accurate. And I'll take responsibility. I won't blame you folks. It's my responsibility. I should have put the case forward a lot clearer than I did. So for that, I apologize.
Where did the conversation about the plane first come from? Who initiated the idea of purchasing it? Was it you who asked for the plane to be purchased?
No, I think it's any decision I make, I consult with other ministers, cabinet, with as well as with our team. And it's kind of, and honestly, folks, it's a no-brainer. It's kind of embarrassing, a province our size, and comparing us to, I guess the closest comparison is the U.S. that every governor has to move from point A to point B. They use it for multiple uses, but they have fleets of planes. And it's very hard when you go into a town, and if your flight gets delayed, you're flying commercial. It's happened to me dozens of times that you get delayed. My OPP is always worried about security. You know, you're 30,000 feet up in the air. It happened once. It didn't happen multiple times. People are polite. You know, the guy got into the rocket field. Next thing you know, he's calling me names at 30,000 feet in the air. Like, there's an issue, concerns about passengers. But again, it only happened once. 99.9% of the people are very polite, very supportive. So that's where it came from. Our country with $1.2 trillion GDP, 20th largest in the world, larger than Spain and France. You have to get around, folks.
But it sounds like
I
you
can't
asked
ignore
for
it.
Personally.
No, that wasn't the case. I think it was a joint decision. Seeing when I'm just running out of time, I think you folks were down in Windsor when we announced Stellantis. We were delayed in the flight, a commercial flight getting into Windsor, and I'm running in as the Prime Minister is ready to speak. Just stuff like that. When you go, no matter if it's me or anyone else, that's the case. And I understand why the previous premiers all had planes, and I agree with it. I just thought, no, I'm going to try it without it. I lasted quite a long time, but it just makes things quicker, faster.
Premier, I understand this went to cabinet,
yes.
And so was it approved unanimously at cabinet?
Yes.
So there was no one saying, don't do it?
No, not one single person. Even today, they're saying, why did you do it? Like, again, I'll give you examples. Very, very simple. We know every year there's wildfires, and we have to take our First Nations communities out of those areas. And yeah, can it move quicker? 100%. It can move quicker. The pilots were telling me you can get to Windsor up to Thunder Bay and back quicker than the single propeller plane. And you get up north, and I know a lot of you have, and it's not about me or about anyone, but I'll tell you, it's not fun flying, folks. When you're up north and the storm's hitting, and your little single prop, and you can sit there and put your arm on the other side and touch the plane, and you're bouncing up and down, and I'm praying to God that we land. It's terrifying. I just got to tell you, it's challenging. You look down, there's no runways, there's no streets, there's no nothing. And you just want to get the plane down, but that's here and there.
Are there a lot of places that this plane wouldn't have been able to land, though, within the province?
Yeah, well, just up in the far, far north where there's dirt runways. But again, we have to charter endless amounts of planes to move First Nations communities, to get the wildfires. We bring in about 200 firefighters from abroad, mostly Mexico, that fight the wildfires. And if you can get a team up there and back, get 20 firefighters up there, you got to take a couple trips. It makes a big difference. Time is of the essence. It's all about time, and that's what we're looking at. Using multiple uses.
That doesn't really make sense when you say the thing about the wildfires.
I'm using that as an example.
People from those regions with your plane?
Yeah, well, what I'm getting at is, if you can send 10 firefighters up there, I'm just using this as an example, folks, and you put all the gear up there and everything, and then you do a couple trips, all of a sudden you have 20 solid firefighters, because right now we're chartering planes. And when you evacuate, you want to evacuate the elder, the children or whatever. I know it's small, but if you can take 2 or 3 trips real quick and land them in whatever city, because what happens is, to be very frank, Timmins doesn't have the capacity when you're evacuating everyone, be it Thunder Bay as well, so we can move them. They come to Niagara Falls, they come to the city of Toronto. Those are just some of many examples that I can give you.
So why not just guarantee that Ontarians won't be on the hook for a single cent as regards to the sale of this plane, Premier?
Yeah, our expectation, we haven't taken possession, we haven't changed, we haven't done anything to the plane, and our expectations are that there's a lot of interest I hear for the plane. Then I'm hoping that we're going to sell it for the exact same amount. So, well, again, that's our expectations. I'm very confident that will happen.
Why not keep the plane? You take your political lumps and keep the plane if you think
right.
you obviously think it's a good idea.
You're right. You know something, and the more I explain it to people, you're bang on. My phone was inundated just from strangers saying, keep the damn plane. And I made a decision. And you know, when I got the first day, and again, I'll take full responsibility. I should have went out there and put the case forward to the people, and I didn't. I should have done it quicker, and I'll take responsibility, because once you build that case...
Consider selling it then?
No, I think I've made that decision. I can't be bouncing back and forth. I just listen to the people exactly, Colin. You know, you're right.
Premier, yesterday you said it was a mistake. Today you're saying it's not a mistake?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not a mistake. I said the people, no, I didn't say it's a mistake. I said the people, once I explained it, they had a different perspective, and they understand it more, that it will be a multi-ministerial plane. It's just kind of, you know, I said it's kind of embarrassing that a province our size, geographically and economically, that we have no government plane. We have the OPP-2 planes that cover 1,070,000 kilometers, and who else? Well, we have Ministry of Natural Resources. They have a couple. But to do anything else, we have no mode of transportation. We took possession, I think it was on Wednesday. I went out on Friday. I should have just got out there and explained the reason we have it, and I didn't.
Does it not send a strange message that the government can buy a $30 million plane and sell it within 2 days? Doesn't it raise questions about the decision-making process for other things?
No, I wouldn't say so. You know, I went out there, folks, we spend, as a government, $30 billion a year. You could have a tech contract for 30 or 50 or $100 million or whatever it is. Yeah, we don't go out every single day on this. But I think it was what got the clicks for you folks. And I'm not blaming you again. It's my responsibility. But when you put my personal plane, whatever it is, it gets more action. But
again, it was your office that inundated
I know, but you don't have to, guys, except for emergency. But I'm not going to debate you guys. It's my responsibility, right? I'm not taking a shot at you by any means. I'm just explaining why, and it's the why that I didn't explain. But the decision's been done. The world's not going to end. I'm still going to be out there. I'm still going to be flying places. It's not going to deter me. We're going to, I guess, for emergency evacuations, we're going to continue to charter the way we have. It's comparable. You know, you either rent a car when you're away or you buy a car, whatever. Over the long period, you know, if you do 100 trips or 125 trips a year, not me, I'm not doing 125 trips on the plane, but other people, if they use it, then you're now all of a sudden you've broken even.